help but to haptically record every time I do something. So far what I like right now in the story of Final Fantasy 16 of what we're seeing is we get to see a little bit of a time jump between Wyvern, which I'm going to assume is Clive, who is the current character we're playing as right now. Now, everyone in here follow that specific trope. You know, you had that commander with Tiamat of he's that sergeant commander of you don't die unless I tell you can die. You're not dying here today, son, kind of vibe. Then you got Wyvern, the kind of reluctant hero kind of vibe. Now, Clive here, I want to say is him, just younger, and so he's part of the royal family. However, since he's the royal older son, I have a feeling that since Joshua, the younger brother, has the power of the Phoenix, is the official child of the blonde lady that we just saw, meaning he has powers that Clive doesn't. And because of that, he's like kind of like the stepbrother. And so that causes some issues in which the other chick has like some royal blood and has some royal bias. Whereas we can see the dad who just came in is a lot more of a nobleman, like the nobleman's warrior kind of thing. Or the warrior nobleman? Something of that nature. He is charismatic, charming, and just, you know, everyone wants to see him come back from the fight. And that, like, you know he's got your back kind of thing. And what I love about his characterization is that, like, they had the whole, like, he's gonna make a fine hound one day. When the little dog was just, like, running up to them. So that's, like, the perfect scenario of this. Or it's just, okay. So we have the established characters. And from there, we're gonna see how the rest of it goes. Thus far, though, solid gameplay. Slightly different control scheme than what I like. But beyond that, Final Fantasy 16, solid game, from what I can tell, out of just this demo. The action is refreshing. It's good for more returning action-oriented combat players. If you play Kingdom Hearts, it's going to be a little bit something like that, where it's just got your typical 4-chain combo. Dodging is going to be stuck to the R1 button. I'm not used to that. I'm used to like having square to dodge, but semantics, because there is actually a dedicated jump button to this. Beyond that, let's see how the rest of this game goes. For this 2-minute recording session, I'm going to post this over to Twitter. I can't help but keep recording. So, from what we know of Elvin and his personality, I'm calling it, he's going to die. He's going to get Ned Starked out of this. He is your idealistic, you want to root for him type hero, nobleman character. That's a certain doom. Like, that is guaranteed he's going to die character. If you play, or no, if you watch anime, you know how there's what? Lots of blood at the Phoenix Gate? Okay. If you see if you watch anime, you know how there's like the mom hair? The mom hair? This is the reverse trope of that. This is like the hero dad, you know he's gonna die trope. So I'm calling it now. Always recording. Instead of ABCs, it's ABRs. So far with the combat of the game, I really thoroughly enjoy it. After playing this icon rush mode, where you get to play at a higher level and just kind of experience what the end game has to offer, but not fully experience the full set of the game's combat abilities, it is thoroughly enjoyable of being able to jump around and switch between your elements on the fly while you wait for your smash attacks. While you're comboing between doing like a 4-chain light melee combo to tossing magic and then just slamming out the big hits until you can stagger them. Timing the limit breaks is a little bit different, because when it comes to limit breaks, it's like your big aha, I got you moment of like, then you just do huge spike damage to the boss. Here, limit break doesn't feel like a limit break. It doesn't feel like the big fat damage number dealer that it normally does. Whereas like me just spamming all the different combo elements does. So that's something a little different that it's going to take some getting used to with Final Fantasy 16 compared to other action RPGs. But beyond that, the combat to this game is solid. I was hoping there would be like a summon mechanic here in the demo, but beyond that, getting to fight the bosses, or at least just like getting to fight and just like unleash the power of the icons like that, has been a lot of fun. So there's my quick minute thought on the combat system of the game. So, quick rundown on the Final Fantasy XVI demo from what I have thought of the game so far. The game, the action is completely engaging. It is a lot of fun. It is dynamic. I have not played a Final Fantasy game where I have experienced the action RPG elements in it. So this has been a huge step to the side for me. Being an old school Final Fantasy player, having played games like 7, 10, 10-2, 12 really pushed it. 14 is different. I have not played 15, and I know how much credit and merit Final Fantasy 15 has. Now, where this game sets itself apart from a lot of the other Final Fantasies is that this one does not rely on Machina as far as I know. Therefore, this one is a true fantasy-styled game. It is a medieval fantasy. So Final Fantasy 16 is going to take on a lot of more of those fantastical elements. Now, things of the nature that I do want to address in the game, beyond just dealing with the audio of just like trying to balance that out for streaming, overall, everything is amazing. The impact with like the fight sequences, you feel the power of the hits. It is magnificent. The story thus far, as we have played within just that first chapter sequence, within the first 3 hours of the game, or at least like 2 hours technically because of the demo, is solid. It is Game of Thrones level. I did call the plot point sequence. To see it, you go back and watch the VOD, please and thank you. First off, I also do want to say thank you to everyone that tuned in to the stream, and also thank you for everyone who watches our VODs. Like, huge thank you to you guys. Like, really, I am really excited to play this game, and I really want to see how this journey plays out of this iteration of Final Fantasy. How the crystals come into play, how the icons come into play. So, it's a lot of Final Fantasy is same stuff, different worlds. And that's what really sets it apart. That's why 7 was one of its own, like was a tier above its own. Why 6 is a tier above its own. Why 8, 9, 10, all of these Final Fantasy games, they do something different that sets you in a different world but gives you that familiar, fantastical feel. And that's really the heart of Final Fantasy. So, definitely, I do want to look more into this game. Once it's in the budget, I will definitely look to acquiring this game. But beyond that, if you guys can, definitely check out the demo if you have access to playing Final Fantasy 16. So yes, with that, that's going to end this little mini 3-minute review of Final Fantasy 16. So yes, and then I will do an actual outro for my stream.